do you have any good books can introduce to us for people like me who is very interested in business, like CEOs could read, or also as well as younger people can.
There are many books out there, and I think when we select books, it's also always helpful to look at certain criteria. And some people will say, well, Alex, I have different criteria, and that's fine. So I give you mine. First, there must be a practical experience. What I'm very cautious about are people who are in some academic field and they have never left the library, and then they write a book of how things should be. And I'm cautious on that. Sometimes these books are very good, but sometimes you say, well, this person has never proven himself, herself in such a setting. Why? To what extent can I believe that? So that's the first criteria. A second criteria is it needs to be built on solid principles. These need to be ethical, of course legal, there's no doubt about that, but ethical. And what I'm looking for is, does a person really relate to people and has a heart for people? If a person doesn't like people, I don't know, I'm not sure. Do I want to copy that person? Do I want to? So that helps to put it into a relationship. What I see as some of the most impactful people in my life were people who had solid principles. I mean, as I said, for example, Zhou Enlai, but also Sun Zhongshan in China. Watchman Nee, he is more on the spiritual side. These would be recommendations. John Maxwell on leadership. John Maxwell also very based on solid principle, has talked all over the world to statesmen, etc. And my strong belief is get the spiritual human side, sustainable values right. If I had one book to recommend, it would be the Holy Bible. That is the most published book in the world, and for a reason. It has impact on hundreds of thousands of business books and management leadership books. So why not go? Well, you can read all these individual books and get principles, or you can get to the source. So that would be my recommendation. Is start there. I would start in the New Testament of the Bible. I would go into there's a book called Gospel of John. Read that, 21 chapters. You read that in a few hours. It may give you a new perspective on life. And a key principles where I summarize it: do as you would like your neighbor, the other person, do unto you. And a great role model to the leadership community. We always talk about nowadays, we talk about servant leadership. It's like, how do you become a servant leader, a real leader? A servant leader is a leader is a servant leader. To be very effective, there's one role model as a servant leader, Jesus Christ. So if you want to have a role model there, read the Bible, study the life of Jesus Christ. Many of the key leadership gurus have actually studied his life extensively, the principles, and they are very powerful, especially in situations. So, as I said, key projects that I've done, I was considered a sustainability expert, and I basically was just quoting Bible to them and applying biblical principles. So you can get a shortcut.